And with building that relationship with him and getting closer with him, that's really whenever we connected it with our health. The way that we were treating ourselves was really a reflection of what we thought of ourselves. And whenever we put God into this situation, he really showed us what the true meaning of exercising and eating healthy is all about.
In today's conversation, I had such an amazing chat with Crysanne and Coryn. They are the mother and daughter duo from Her Healthy Body podcast, and their personal testimony and journey testifies to the importance of aligned leadership. Their story illustrates that when they aligned their lives in Christ, God showed them how to lead themselves well so that they're now, in turn, leading others well in health and wellness, all while partnering with God. You don't want to miss this conversation because wherever God has you, God has a plan and a purpose for you to make an impact to those around you for God's glory. Are you a corporate, professional, or entrepreneurial mom committed to making a difference in your work and maintaining your priorities? Do you have the guilt loop running on repeat, whether leading a team or leading your family? Welcome to Leadership for Busy Working Moms. I'm your host, Susan, also a high performance and leadership coach. From working in New York City in the high-end fashion world to being a teacher, I created the Aligned Leadership Method, a strategy to align my life to Christ. Out of that overflow, there was an alignment of my leadership that seeped into every facet of my life. You can align any season of your life so that you can be fruitful at work and home. Are you ready to dive in? Get your earbuds on and open your journal and Bible. It's time to align your leadership. Are you looking to grow your leadership so you can make decisive decisions with peace and be able to elevate your articulation so you can communicate clearly at work and at home? Do you know that you are created to make a generational impact and to impact many lives with where God has you right now? Grow in your leadership as you lead yourself in Christ. This is aligned leadership, and I only offer a handful of spots for my private one-on-one coaching. We work together at a deep level to build your leadership, and this is a 3-month container, and it's very customized to you. But here are the 3 areas that I focus on. I really focus at first on alignment, and this is really your identity, aligning our lives to Christ. And this translates to boundaries and how that's expressed in our lives for work, at home, and with our relationships. I know that you are accomplished and high achieving. You may be thinking that I don't need that and I'm good, but here's what I know about you. You're running on fumes and you're having guilt loops playing over on repeat about not being a present mom or wife. Now, the second thing we're going to work on is articulation, and this is really your communication skills. And here's what I know about you. You've made it this far in your career and in your profession because of your communication skills. But have you ever been in a meeting with challenging individuals having a difficult conversation? Hard conversations happen to everyone. Words are powerful, and training our tongue to practice articulation daily is important. And now the third thing that we'll be working through is activation. And this is really your actions and decisions. My aligned decision framework is a faith-based system for decisive, high-impact leadership. So you're going to come in as a leader, but you're going to come out as an elevated and aligned leader. So go ahead and email me at hello@susanbro.com. Hello, Coryn and Crysanne. How are you today?
Hi, good. How are you, Susan? Thanks for
Yes.
having us.
Yes, I am super excited to have you both here on the show. So we have here Coryn Brown and Crysanne Clay, and they are a mother-daughter health coaching duo and the voices behind her Healthy Body podcast with over 20 years of combined experience working with women both in person and online. They specialize in strength training, protein-focused nutrition, and helping women rebuild their health after years of diet culture and extremes, all while keeping God at the center of the journey. Wow, I just love that last point. And I really want to hear about both of your journeys. Like, how has God led both of you to eventually get to this point of working together? How wonderful and what a blessing that is. I would love to hear the back end story.
Well, thank you. And yeah, you're right. Working together, working with my daughter is a dream. It is. It's really beautiful. But I guess to go back where we started, I mean, my own health journey was kind of a mess. As a young teenager in high school, I struggled with anorexia, and I just was bigger than the other kids, and it was pointed out to me in gym class one time because we all weighed together. I don't know why anybody would do that, but I just started to like, oh, I need to be smaller. It started then, and I need to lose weight, and I didn't know how to. Because back then, if you know the 80s, it was low fat everything. And, they weren't afraid of sugar. So I was doing all the things that, they tell us to do and nothing was working. And I got my tonsils out and just couldn't eat. And oh my gosh, I lost all kind of weight. So yeah, I kind of got addicted to that. And I got addicted to the empty feeling. And all of a sudden it was full blown. I didn't know it at the time, but it was full blown anorexia. I did a lot of damage to myself with that, with starving myself. And the number one thing that showed first for me was my gut. It completely shut down. It was a big struggle. Lots of doctor visits, almost going to take part of it out as a young person. It was really scary. So I got into health and fitness to correct that. So from anorexia, and then it kind of turned into what we call orthorexia, which is becoming obsessed with health and fitness. But in a good intention, I wanted to help myself. So I got my certification in order to just get the education to know exactly what to do so I don't hurt myself trying to get to the goals that I want to do. And then I got sucked into the fitness world. And if you've been in the fitness world, that can go dark if you're not focused in the right way.
And that's where I came in. I was in high school whenever my mom was the one that actually introduced me to the gym. I was going through a hard time. In high school, you're figuring like who you are, your identity. And I didn't make these two teams I was really upset about. And my mom decided that, let's go to the gym, let's go work out together. And that's where we really built our relationship. I mean, I felt like I got so close with her because every day after school, instead of going to practice, I went to the gym with her and she taught me really good lessons from that. And I was learning discipline and I felt really good and I felt really strong. And, years and years of doing that, we both really got into just the health and fitness world. I then became a trainer myself and we dove right in. And with getting into the nitty gritty of the fitness world, a lot of it's about looks. A lot of it is about how can you look the absolute best? How can we be as extreme with our diet as we can to get the best look that we wanted? And we both went down this dark path of, instead of it being healthy, it just turned into everything about aesthetics and looks. And when we were taking on clients, that's all they wanted. So we were giving them what they wanted instead of what they really needed. What they needed was to learn that health and fitness should be a part of your life. It should make you feel so much better. It should give you more energy. It's not about what the scale says. It's not about, or even like, there's so many women that don't even like exercise because of how so many trainers like us in the beginning would just kill them in a workout. And they're like, I don't want to come back. Cause we thought like that's what they wanted. And they would tell us like, I want to be sweating. I want to be drenched in sweat after this workout. But that's not what people need. They need health and they need to feel good and they need to have energy to just get through the day. And with this, we are always about, and we help teach our clients to live out God's purpose. If you don't have your health, how can you live out what God is asking of you? She and I had both gone through some difficult things in our life, and that brought us a lot closer to God. And with building that relationship with Him and getting closer with Him, that's really whenever we connected it with our health. The way that we were treating ourselves was really a reflection of what we thought of ourselves. And whenever we put God into this situation, He really showed us what the true meaning of exercising and eating healthy is all about.
And that made it easy. The clarity made it easy once we got that. You just can't, once you see that, you just have to share it because it is very easy and it's very doable. And we see a lot of people in our lives that just think it's the hardest thing in the world. And it's like, no, like it really is easy once you have clarity. And God really gave us our clarity.
Wow. So it sounds like there was an alignment that happened in your walk, in your journey, and it was an alignment in Christ where out of the outpour of that, God was leading you to lead yourself as He wants you to lead. That is so beautiful.
And he let us go through everything that everyone is struggling with.
Mm.
And that's really where, we can anybody who calls in, anybody that of our clients, there's some aspect of their lives that we totally relate with. Like I have been on calls with clients where I end up crying with them because I struggled with the same thing and I can put myself in that situation. But we've been through it all, like everything. And yeah, it's
If it wasn't through those difficult times, we wouldn't be able to help these people now.
exactly.
So in a way, it was a blessing that he made us go through all of that.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that just reminds me that nothing is ever wasted in God's
Hmm.
economy. He
Hmm.
takes all of that up and like does something beautiful out of it all. And he's doing something beautiful out of what you both are doing to help people and align other people to Christ and allowing Christ to be in that journey, that health journey. So there's a lot of women that's feeling stressed and overwhelmed in their health journey. And so, what does it look like to invite God into this process so that it feels more peaceful instead of pressure filled?
That's the key. What you're doing needs to feel peaceful. When it's chaotic, you don't know how to fit it in your life, you're stressing about it. We have women stress over everything. And I don't think people understand how much stress they are under. I know myself, my daughter will say, "Well, mom, you're stressed." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. There's nothing like traumatizing that's happened recently. There's not, but when, we're women, we're watching them and they tell us about their day and it's this one stress thing after another. Like, for example, getting up and running off out the door without eating breakfast and just having coffee, not getting sunlight in their eyes the first thing in the morning, not drinking enough water, not having enough nutrition, not sleeping well. It's not like you have to have a deadline at work or so have some trauma in your life that causes stress. Everyday things in our modern world is causing us stress and they are not realizing it. And this is like one thing that we are trying to show them that we don't, health and fitness needs to help that stress, not add to it. And we
Mm.
don't, and I think everyone thinks health and fitness is just going to add to my daily load that I can't fit that in. Like, I can't fit that in. And when you talk about aligning God, for example, my own life, when you talk about putting him into this journey, we call it like we use God as our partner in our fitness journey. When
Mhm.
we did that and when we started our day with Him, He aligns what exactly your purpose is and then how that health and fitness is going to make you stronger, better for His purpose. Because my purpose is to be a mom. My purpose is to run this business. My purpose is to take care of my mom. These are the things that God put in my life as my purpose. And if I don't have my health to do that, I'm not going to fulfill his purpose. So I look at health and fitness as a way to align myself with God's will in my life and be strong in it. Because if I don't, honestly, Susan, if you think about it, any busy woman who has a lot on their plate, if their health fails them, everything else doesn't matter and their health does because they need to be healthy. And then you lose what your purpose is because now I have a health crisis. And when you're unhealthy, that's all that matters is getting healthy.
That is so true. I do remember a time when I had an injury. It was actually like I worked out too hard. This was so many years ago when I was like, work out until you feel the pain. I'm not that way anymore. But because of that, I caused myself a shoulder injury and I ignored it. But then you're right, to your point. everything in my life had to stop because I had to go through physical therapy, and that can be super overwhelming, and it was intense. And I had like four kids. Was it four kids? I can't remember at this point. Three or four kids at this point, and yeah, it was all encompassing. So you
Mhm.
are absolutely right. When we are not in full health, we cannot live out the destiny that God has for us, the purpose that He has for each of us. And I love that you just said to partner with God every day, first thing in the morning. That is so beautiful.
Makes it easy and makes it clear. And that this health journey, this fitness journey, if it doesn't feel calm, you're not doing it right. And you don't need to do as much as people say too. And that's what we went through as well. We thought we had to do so much all the time. And that's where the injuries will come in, like you had experienced. So yeah, we like to teach people it's actually very, very easy to fit this into your life.
So, what does it look like to partner with God?
When it comes to just partnering with God with this, we look at it as like he's now our accountability buddy. Like
Mm,
whenever you're working out, you want someone that is like doing this all with you. So it could be times where she had said, like, of course, starting your morning with him is huge. And treat him like he's almost like your coach or your friend in a way of like checking in with him of how are you feeling? So in that way of like, you know what? Today's a bad body image day. But instead of ripping myself apart or instead of eating just a bunch of food because, some people deal with emotional eating, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to him. I'm going to go to
mm.
prayer. And that can help calm you instead of cause you to go down a really bad path of the habits that you usually do. The times where you're doing really well, telling him that and saying, like, God, please help me continue on this path. I feel good. And it helps you point out all of the good things instead of just what the number on the scale says. Or how you look in the mirror. It's taking that away and you're focusing on those non-scale victories. And he helps you see those. And that's one of the biggest things because a lot of this is up here, it's in the mind. And if our mind isn't right and we're always just focused on our looks, we're going to end up giving up because we'll either work out too hard and burn out, or we're going to restrict our food too much to be like, this isn't fun. This isn't life. Like, I want to go out to eat. I want to enjoy myself. So he teaches you how to become more balanced with all of this.
On a personal note with that, with how God can correct this, I was obsessed with the body. I had an obsession with it, and I put it before Him. And He really showed me. Well, and actually, this was from, I have a spiritual director that is just absolutely wonderful. And he had said, if you worship something more than God, you end up hating it. And I didn't realize I was making my body my God and everything and end up hating it. And I was using exercise as a punishment. Like the harder, the better. Like I should suffer. And I was hating my body, not realizing because I was putting it before God. And then when I realized what I was doing and put Him first, my exercise and nutrition became something that I used to love my body. And it became something that was healthy for me. And it became something that was in alignment with what He wanted for me. And I got myself off my looks and onto the things that Corinne was saying that we should be concentrating on. How's my energy? How do I feel? Am I sleeping well? Just getting off of looks, because honestly, looks should be just a side effect of your health. Your health, like that should be something that just comes naturally when you're concentrating on your health. And that's where God makes it very clear and comfortable for me when my focus is on what am I going to do to nurture and just make my body as strong as I can. That's where my peace comes with all of
Mm.
this. And it's easy to do. And the looks, that that just comes without effort. And not to say that we can't want to be beautiful. I mean, God wants us to be beautiful. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to, like if you're 50 pounds overweight and you need to lose some weight, there's nothing wrong with wanting that. That is not something that we should be ashamed as Christians to want to look, beautiful. But check yourself on why.
Mm.
Is it because you want attention? Is it because you want to turn someone's head? Or is it because you want to feel good in your body? That's
Mm.
alignment with, health and fitness with God.
Wow. And what I'm also hearing is that it's also stewardship of the body that we have been given, that we just need to be faithful to treat it
Mhm.
well because it's our vessel that holds us to do what we need to do on this earth.
Mhm.
So that's so beautiful. And I love that perspective. Thank you so much, Chrisanne. Um, I'm hearing so much. And maybe it's just my life stage, but I'm hearing a lot about protein and muscle lately. And so I just want you to explain why that matters so much for our energy, hormones, and long-term health, especially as women. Because, like, I hear that it's important. I just want to
Mhm.
hear, okay, why and
Yeah.
how?
Yeah. Like protein is now the new keto, intermittent fasting. Like, yes, this is like a trend right now. Like it's in even our Starbucks drinks and like Dunkin', you can get protein in. But I don't want people to look at this as a trend. This is a good thing. We want to make sure that we are eating enough protein and building muscle. Like
Mm,
muscle is the longevity of health. We are so under muscled. We are always worried about losing weight, but we don't care about muscle. And whenever we go to lose weight, most of the time, because most women do it through a calorie deficit and cardio. And what does that do? That actually loses more muscle and water than body
mm,
fat. So the number on the scale might be lower, but you're still wondering, why do I feel crappy still? Or why am I still uncomfortable in my body? Maybe there's still those stubborn areas that we all can't stand that we can't get to. Muscle is the Spanx of the body. It tightens everything up. And on a aesthetic side, on a health side, this is going to be helping our hormones get balanced. It gives us just a better hormone profile the more muscle that we have. So that time of the month isn't going to be as awful as it is for a lot of women whenever we have more muscle. It is good for our skin, our hair, our nails. It helps us have more energy. We're stronger just to go to the grocery store and go to Costco and pick up, the heavy thing that we're getting and not have to ask either our husband or maybe our older kid to get it out of the truck for you. It gives us independence.
mm.
A lot of like 20 and most 30-year-olds really don't look at this as like, well, whenever I'm 60, I'll care about this. But we need to start now because muscle isn't as easy to gain as a lot of women think. We think that we're going to get really bulky if we start lifting weights or if we eat a lot of protein. You have to be on some serious steroids in order to get bulky or eating a lot of food. So that it's a total myth that us women, whenever we start to eat more protein or start lifting weights, we immediately like just think just because our jeans are getting a little bit tighter, oh no, like this is not for me, this isn't going to work. But it's so good to have muscle.
From a weight loss standpoint, which, a lot of our clients come to us, they want to be healthy, and I get it, but underneath it, they want to lose some weight. This is the key for weight loss, muscle is, because the more muscle you have on your body, the more glucose uptake it takes. And glucose is sugar. So if you eat a carbohydrate, it all turns into glucose in your body. And glucose, too much of it, we know gets stored as fat. But your muscle is the first place where it goes. If you don't have a lot of muscle, unfortunately, the, birthday cake that you had or whatever is going to go straight to your fat cells because you don't have enough muscle on your body to uptake some of that glucose. And when we talk about insulin resistance and diabetes, this is huge to have muscle because that sugar that's circulating in your blood system, this is what's causing so much disease and so much weight gain. If you don't have the muscle on your body to uptake and clear that sugar, insulin's going to be released to do that for you. And insulin, even though it's needed, it is definitely a needed thing in our body. If it's produced too much, it's telling the body to store fat. So, this is your GLP-1. We were talking about earlier how GLP-1s are the biggest rage, Ozempic, what is it called?
Manjaro.
Manjaro, all of those things are the biggest rage. Well, you know, you can create that yourself by eating enough protein, but people don't
Oh.
understand that. We naturally produce GLP-1. That's a natural thing in our bodies. It's not something that's, but that GLP-1 is the signal to tell your body it's satiated, it's full, you don't want to eat anymore. Protein does that. We don't need to be injecting ourselves with all those scary side effects.
Mm. Wow, I did not know that. Wow. So GLP-1 is something that our body naturally produces. We just need to make sure we have enough protein so that our body can get that signal
Yes.
from the GLP.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Goodness. You know, this just reminds me of how He made everything perfect, right? We can get everything that we need from the food
Mhm.
that He has already provided for us, from foods around us, from produce, from the
He
grocery
made
store.
the body, this is one of the reasons I got into health and fitness. I am fascinated, absolutely fascinated on how the body works. It's genius. And most of the time, it takes care of itself if we just give it the right signals and the right nourishment and the right sleep. All of these issues that we're always taking pills for or trying to get around, it takes care of itself. God did not skimp on designing us. That's for sure. It is imperfection that he has designed, and we are perfect. We just kind of
Hmm.
need to get out of our way sometimes and just do the things that actually will help your body heal. I mean, not all
Yeah.
things can, and we do need some, interventions here and there. I'm not against that, that's for sure. But at the same time, it is the most beautiful design thing, and he gave us all we need on this earth for it. So I agree with you. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful. And I'm
Mhm.
just always reminded about that with everyone I speak with, including both of you. God is good. So, after having talked about all of this, what can a busy mom actually do when she's got no time? So, what's some simple strength training workouts that she can realistically stick to or incorporate into her life? Because now we know, hey, muscle building is not something we need to fear. We should actually embrace it. I am in my 50s. I do need to embrace it and I do try to incorporate it, but we always need reminders because it's always easy to just be like, oh, another day. I'll skip today.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could first start off by saying, like, you don't have to love working out to work out. I think it's just being reminded and understanding all of the benefits of why we do this is really going to help you get going.
Mm,
When it comes to strength training, it can be really daunting because there is a learning curve to it. I mean, look at cardio. You just get on a treadmill, you just get on elliptical. There's no like learning, it's just doing and it's mindless. So it's a little bit easier. Strength training does cause you to, or it is a learning curve to help you learn how to do a squat properly or do a push up. And when we are very under muscled, this can feel very hard. So we try to make this as simple as possible for our clients. And we actually introduce them to these 15-minute workouts because, like your audience, we have a lot of busy women that we work with. And sometimes they don't even have time to breathe, but we have taught them how to incorporate this into their life and they are loving it. And it just takes 15 minutes a day. And all that is a little warm up, maybe 5 minutes, and then two compound exercises. And if people don't know what a compound exercise is, that is a squat, a deadlift, a chest press, a shoulder press. It's anything that is working more than one muscle. So basically, if you think of all of the like bro exercises when you're
mm.
thinking of that, that's what those are. And they are so effective. Us women just don't think that we need that because that's like something that guys do, and we should be doing our Pilates or doing our yoga, which I'm not against by any means. But if we want to strategize and make what's the most important thing first, it's going to be strength training just because of everything that we talked about. But yeah, it's just two of these compound movements and it takes 15 minutes. And the women that we work with, they are able to stick with it because it could be something where, say, you have little ones and you are going downstairs in your basement with some dumbbells and a stability ball, and you put them in the pack and play right next to you, and they can play play with their toys while you're getting this done. Or if you're someone that maybe is an empty nester, but you wanted to cook a casserole, you could throw it in the oven and go downstairs and do your workout really quickly. This isn't something that we have to drive to the gym to. This isn't something that we need a lot of equipment for. It's so simple and you feel so much better after you do it.
And you remember the stress thing we talked about earlier? This is, women, and this is what we see with our clients, they just are stress balls from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. And the last thing we want to do is have to go to a class where we're spinning for 45, 50 minutes, adding more stress. And I don't think women understand how much stress some of these classes add. Instead, and again, God used my health issues to show us this. Because I had so much stress, because I did this. I mean, I abused my body. I was a stress ball with work, with kids, with working out, with dieting constantly. My nervous system got shot. I mean, shot. And my adrenals, and they just burned out. And when I would go to exercise, I would get migraines, throw up. Like, it was awful. And I was a class instructor, like getting migraines and living through that. It was really bad. We started the strength training because I knew what caused stress, because the exercises that caused me stress kept me up at night, made me sick. So I knew what was causing my body stress. When we started the weightlifting and I was doing 15 minutes a day, all of a sudden, A, I'm getting results. B, I'm sleeping through the night. It felt calm. There was no pressure. And a lot of women don't understand that their exercise, they think that it's a stress reliever because it feels good. When you work out in a class and you're sweating afterwards, you got all those endorphins, you're high-fiving people, you're hugging people. Trust me, I would teach classes. I understand that feeling, but they don't know that they just added more stress to their already stressed day. So just scaling it back with the 15 minutes a day, that is not hard to do at all. If I couldn't get it in the morning, it's easier to fit it in my afternoon, my evening schedule, because I'm like, oh, it's 2 exercises. I could do this. And because it's 2 exercises, there's no stress, because it's like, that's all I have to do. And I can focus on that and learn those. It's so less intimidating when you're taking such small pieces of it, instead of like, I mean, I've looked at workout programs on people's, websites that I wanted to sign up for, and there's 15 exercises. And I'm like, I just had stress looking at that. Like, I'm sorry, I can't get in all of that. And it's not necessary.
I absolutely love that. And that sounds like it's totally doable. And actually, you're right. Going to the gym is an added hurdle for any busy mom. I know that's been a big hurdle for me. We've got gym membership, but do I have time to actually go there, and not just go there, but get myself prepped and everything else that comes with that? So the rest of my family might go, but I have absolutely no time. You're right. Thing that really works is just doing something in the house, real short, that will work in my day. 15 minutes is something that anyone can do before or in between breaks or whatever we're doing in our lives. Wow, that is such great advice. Thank you.
And
So,
movement, because I know that people like are going to hear this and be like, but I'm burning all those calories in my spin class, but I love that. And I just need to move. Well, I don't think they understand non-exercise activity thermogenesis. We call it NEAT. You burn more by activities that you're doing with your children, with cleaning your house, with just movement. When you do one of those exercise classes, check how you feel afterwards. You just want to sit around. You're so tired, you're exhausted, and you burn more calories being active all day long and having energy than you did in that 1 hour spin class. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot if you think about it. I rather have energy for cleaning my house, for walking outside, which is so healthy to do, playing with my kids. Like, those are the things that people don't understand. That adds up.
And even if you are someone that has a desk job and you are sitting all day, it is still so important to, when you're on your lunch break, to even get outside and just walk 10 minutes around the building. Like
Mm.
it doesn't have to be something where we're going on an hour-long walk, or even those little bike pedalers that people put underneath their desk, just so you're moving a little bit. A little bit goes such a long way when it comes to your energy.
Wow.
I have a
Wow.
client that goes in the bathroom and does 10 squats every time she goes pee. Because I know it's just you have to, because she knows she has to sit at her desk all day long. She doesn't have a choice. But she says the movement is just, it just makes her feel so much better.
Wow, that is such a great reminder of how we can habit stack things to things that we
Mhm.
automatically always do. So if we can just stack, oh, okay, I could do jump squats after every time I get off my desk for any reason and just make that a habit, it becomes
Mhm.
part of our lifestyle. And I just want to circle back to what you said about those 1 hour classes. I remember doing those big long classes and feeling like I accomplished so much. I felt like I could reward myself and I'd
Oh
go
yeah.
out and get something just to splurge. And then I was like knocked out for the rest of the day because I was too
Mhm.
tired to do anything else.
Oh,
Girl, I'd do a 45, 50-minute run of all hills, and then I'd be like, I'm going to Panera and I'm getting the biggest muffin I can find. And then I just sit around all day long. That worked.
No, but I just love this new shift of making it part of our lifestyle. And what was that acronym that you said? NEAT?
Yeah, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It
Love
is
that.
you burn more calories just being active all day long instead of like targeted cardio.
That's fabulous. You know, I have just loved this conversation. Can you just tell everyone where they can get more of you? Where can they get a hold of you, listen to more of what you have to say?
yeah, they can. We do have a podcast that's called Her Healthy Body, and I believe it's on all platforms that you can listen to. And our website is herhealthybody.co. And then we do have a Facebook community too on Facebook. If you just go under groups and just type in Her Healthy Body, will come up.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much for being over here and just talking to us about all the wonderful things about partnering with God. What was the other thing? Proteins and muscle, how important that is for us as women, and all the different strategies that you mentioned to incorporate exercise and strength training and movement in our daily lives. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. If you want to be able to go deeper into growing in your leadership by leading yourself well first and foremost, I offer only a handful of spots for my private one-on-one coaching. And this is where we work together to go at a deeper level to build your leadership. And this is talking about aligned leadership. So this would be a 3-month container and it's very customized to you. So if that's something up your alley, email me at hello@susanrowe.com. God bless you, sister. Hey mama, you made it to the end. And listen, if you learned something new and you already see the great value in this podcast, share this episode and bless another mom who's in the weeds of all the busy. Also, would you leave a review for the show on Apple Podcast? This matters so much to empower and encourage another mom around the world. Together, we can encourage one another to align our leadership as we lead ourselves first in Christ. It matters to your families and for future generations to come. You are making a generational impact. God bless you.